fellow preppers, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. Thinking fast and slow. Like I said in a previous video, I finally finished it. But I want to share with you just a few more paragraphs out of the book so you can get the whole picture here. And I highly recommend that you go out, go to the library, get a copy of the book, and take a couple of weeks to read it. It'd be well worth your effort. Page 381. Memories are all we get to keep from our experience of living, and the only perspective that we can adopt as we think about our lives is therefore that of the remembering self. Remember, I asked you that question. Would you take that all-expense-paid vacation? But the only rub is, at the end, your memory gets erased, so you never even realized you had it. It's like 2 weeks gone out of your life, but during that 2 weeks, you're having the time of your life. Something to think about, something to ponder. It really is. Because then if you forget, does that mean you're forgetting part of your life? Have you lost something by forgetting it? I mean, this is something that there's a lot of twists and turns to it. There's no simple answer here. At least not to me. Now, let's move on to page 389. In fact, on page 389 is basically the question I asked. A thought experiment about your next vacation will allow you to observe your attitude toward your experiencing self. At the end of the vacation, all pictures and videos will be destroyed. Furthermore, you will swallow a potion that will wipe out all your memories of the vacation. How would this prospect affect your vacation plans? How much would you be willing to pay for it relative to a normally memorable vacation? Think about that. Your attitude towards your experiencing self. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to get a little more enjoyment out of an event? Perhaps just a meal or a drink. Somehow they just seem like they're savoring it. Whereas other people, it's like they're inhaling their meal, they're gulping their drink. It's just gone. And there's probably no memory of it. They were just satisfying an urge, scratching an itch. Or maybe when you go to a museum, you ever notice how some people just stand there or sit there and just look at a painting for minutes, maybe even an hour. And you just glance at it and walk on. Oh yes, I saw the Mona Lisa. But did you really see it? You may have looked at it, but did you see it? It's something I talk with traders about all the time, that they need to see, because they haven't learned to see. They've actually unlearned how to see because their education has blinded them to what's there. Everything they look at is interpreted rather than just seen. Observation. It's really critical in life, at least to me it is, because you'll miss a lot if you're not observant. I mean, it's kind of self-evident, but it's kind of like common sense, not too common. So memories. It's all we have. But then again, the experiencing self may be taking a back seat, because as opposed to experiencing the moment and really fully being there, here now, not to get all zen on you, but the moment is all there is. In fact, that's one of my favorite, or my favorite line out of the movie 2.5 Weeks. When the Kim Basinger character goes up to Farnsworth, who was the painter, and he's sitting in the woods on a bench, and he's got this dead fish in his hand, and he's looking at it. And Basinger says, it's the way you capture a moment. And without looking up, he says, the moment. It's so familiar. The thing is so familiar that it's strange. I mean, that's some deep stuff when you think about it. Like I said, don't worry about me. I'm not going to get all zen on you or anything, but just sometimes I think one should ponder something and actually go deep as opposed to just always being on the surface. I mean, the next time, maybe you like candy. Next time you eat a piece of candy, do you just crunch it down, or do you actually taste it and savor it and feel the texture, just the richness of the taste? I mean, and then maybe somebody will look at you and go, that person, they seem to be really enjoying that. And when you think about it, memories. How many events have you been to that you forgot? I mean, I've been to lots of car races. I can't remember the winners. I mean, I can remember bits and pieces of some of them. There's probably some races I completely forgot about. And somebody went with me, hey, remember that race? Oh, yeah, now I remember it. That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. Okay, let's move on. And finally, page 394. It's in the last paragraph here. Attention is key. Our emotional state is largely determined by what we attend to. And we are normally focused on our current activity and immediate environment. There are exceptions where the quality of subjective experience is dominated by recurrent thoughts rather than by the events of the moment. So, I like to call it time traveling. In fact, I may have done a video on this, once again, I don't remember, a long time ago. But you see, you have the past, you have the future, and you have right here, right now. And so a lot of times people, they'll be so worried about the outcome, so focused on the future that they miss the event, like a foul shot. You know, there's no time left on the clock, you got fouled, you got 2 shots, you sink them both, either you go into overtime or maybe you win the game. If you're worried about making those shots, probably going to choke. If you just go up to the foul line, just like it's any other foul shot, just like you do in practice every day, and just shoot, just don't even think about what would happen if you make it or miss, you just shoot it, chances are it'll swish right through. So, what are you paying attention to at the moment? Are you focused right here, right now? Once again, I know it sounds like Zen, but, or are you more concerned about the future, maybe thinking back about the past, your memories? Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel, it's either Kahneman or Kahneman. Apologize for not knowing how to pronounce his name, but the guy won the Nobel Prize in economics. Good book, highly recommend it. And in fact, he talked about a book called Nudge, which I think I'm going to see if the library has it, and it might be it'll be on the reading list. Maybe not the next book I read and share, but we'll see what happens. I hope you have enjoyed my sharing this book. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and thanks again for watching and listening. In fact, I'm in the library right now. Like I said, I had to get out of the wind because I think it was probably messing up that last video. So, fellow preppers, YouTubers, you going to remember this?